Hi everyone, Dr. Lewis here. So this is just a quick little lecture to go over signal phrases and in-text citations, especially because our upcoming papers and projects will be utilizing them quite a bit. So what do I mean by a signal phrase is a common question that I get. And a signal phrase is the phrase that connects your quote to your paper in your own words. So other teachers that I know have called it a tie-in or a lead-in or a leader. So whatever your teacher wanted to call it when you were in high school or whenever you learned this concept. So basically what that means is if you have the statement, Lewis states that all is well, where all is well is the quote, the Lewis states that is your signal phrase. So you have to have one of those whenever you're quoting anything. And I've given you a link to some more examples, and this kind of gives you ideas. You can have it at the beginning of your sentence, you can have it at the end of your sentence, you can have it in the middle of your sentence, so that kind of gives you a bunch of options for it. But that's essentially what a signal phrase is. So in general, every quote that you have needs to have quotation marks to set off what is being quoted, a signal phrase, which we just went over, the author's last name somewhere in the sentence or citation, so some indication of where you're getting the quote from. Sometimes it can also just be like the article title, just something to indicate where you're getting it from. And then page numbers if available. Often PDFs will have a page number even if they are sources that you just view online. So be careful, sometimes people think, oh, if it's online then nothing has page numbers, but PDFs often will. So make sure that you go and check and make sure. So some examples of proper ways to quote and cite. So the signal phrase, Lewis says that, and then you have the parenthetical with the page 39. So Lewis says that, blah, 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 for the quote, page 39, and then the period goes after the parenthetical citation. If the signal phrase does not have the last name, then you put it in the parenthetical citation. So if you say the article then says that, blah, 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 the quote, then you have to say Lewis 39. So you have the last name somewhere in there, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in the parenthetical or in the signal phrase, just one or the other. It has to be in there somewhere. So some other examples, some sources such as websites, online articles, or films do not have page numbers, so you just use the name. So the website states that blah, 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 quote, and then Navarrete. And Navarrete's the author of the website. So another example is Navarrete states that XYZ. And then notice there that I don't have a parenthetical. So sometimes that makes people nervous and they feel like it has to have a page number or it has to have a parenthetical. But according to MLA, you can leave off the parenthetical where you do not have page numbers and the last name is already used. So you don't need to double up on the last name there, essentially. Okay, so this was just a very quick beginning guide to using signal phrases and how to use in-text parenthetical citations and quotations. If you have any questions, let me know.